Hey guys, what's up? Joey Gonzalez here. Um, I said I would do this video, months ago, but never got around to it till now. Um, I wanted to tell you guys about the process, like the filmmaking process behind Short Fuse, my documentary. For those of you who haven't seen it, I suggest you guys check it out. You guys can find it on my channel or on my Facebook, because I usually post it pretty often. Okay, so Short Fuse. Wow, we went through hell, and I mean, the people that were helping me out at the time, they were clueless as to like what I wanted, because only I could kind of fulfill my vision for the movie. And I basically decided to go it alone. I decided to tell them, they were actually part of my film class, and I had been assigned help, and I decided to tell them, you know, go ahead, go do your own thing, because this is just way too big of a project for you guys. And I think they were barely starting out. And so I talked to the teacher, and he let me do it. And I had gotten in good with him because he actually decided that I was kind of ahead in class, because I was the only one who submitted movies on time, and the ones that I did submit, they were probably the best in the class. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I got the idea for the project, I would say, December of 2010, and I never really got through kind of making it, because there was a lot of things on my plate at the time with school and family issues and stuff like that. But I decided to pick up the camera. Wow, I think it was January. I had told my teacher about the project, and he decided to give me the go-ahead to get started on it. And I told him that it would take a few months. I didn't actually know it would be this whole 5-month process. So by the time I was finished, I actually ended up finishing the week of graduation. So that last 4 days before graduation was when I had finally released the movie. And the months prior to that, I had gotten an online following, as some of you may be already a part of. I decided to go ahead and release a trailer. I think it was 2 weeks before the actual movie came out, and as soon as the trailer dropped, I mean, I had flooded, you know, my inbox there. I want to see the movie, I have ideas about this, and or can you give me a little like sneak preview of what it's gonna be like? I want to see what you have so far. And I couldn't release anything, so I kept the public guessing in that aspect. But I went ahead and released the movie. I think it was May of this year, 2012. And I mean, ever since, it's been one, you know, like haze of just congratulations, and I get a lot of comments on the video saying thank you for saying everything that you did. Really it resonates with a lot of people, I guess. But you know, I was really setting out to make a movie about the entire culture, not just punk, not just metal, and not just ska. I went out to make a film for the fans, you know, for the people. And so I guess in that aspect, if you put it that way, I was making a movie for everyone. So it's kind of no shock to me that it resonates with a lot of people, because that's what I kind of set out to do. But on the other hand, I set out to educate people that aren't part of the scene that I am or you are. I set out to kind of like teach people, like, look, this is not what everything is. Everything is not as it seems in this genre. You know, everyone thinks, oh, punks and metalheads are just, you know, lowlifes and the dirt end of society. But I mean, you know, if you watch the movie, it's a little bit more about that. It's a little bit more about community and self-perseverance. And I just kind of set out to tell my story in the same aspect, because as you'll see in the opening sequence, I talk about that incident with the woman on the bus. And I'm not making any of this up. I didn't script any of the interviews, nothing like that. This all actually happened, so what you hear is what you get. I went around, and the first few weeks of shooting, I went to a few gigs. I just asked around a few places, and I went to a bunch of gigs just filming. I had, by the end of the shooting process, I was about 15 hours of footage in, and that, for those of you who don't know, is a lot. But I had that, and then on top of that, on top of that, I had, you know, my teacher breathing down my neck, just telling me, like, you know, you have to get it done, you have to get it done. And I was dealing with a lot of stress at, you know, during that time, and by the time we got into editing, I was just totally overwhelmed. You know, I didn't even think I was gonna finish the movie, let alone release it, by the time I had said online that it would be released. And actually, during the 2 weeks of the editing process, I actually hit a wall. I was going through a little bit of, I guess you could say, mental issues, what have you. And I broke underneath my pinky, the bone right here, and they say only fighters or boxers get that that fracture underneath the knuckle. So I was in a cast editing, and I edit the mouse. The way I was editing was like I twisted my hand, and I was clicking and moving the mouse sideways. Like it was a whole process. It was, you know, not very fun. Barely got like 2 hours of sleep, I'd say, each day, because I'd take the computer at school that I was editing on, I'd bring it home, and I just had it set up actually right here, and I would be on for hours and hours, and I wouldn't do a single thing but edit the movie. And I think, you know, it was a dark point in my life, just making the movie. But if I hadn't gone through that, I don't think the movie would be as good as it is, you know. And I say that because I watch this movie every time, and every time, I mean, sorry, I'm rambling here, but every time I watch this movie, will you stop? Go. Every time I watch this movie, I have kind of like a new awakening, you know. I look back on myself and I think, oh wow, you know, like, what kind of shit did you go through and be able to come out on top, you know. But I gotta say, you know, I'm proud of myself for getting through everything that I did, and I'm proud of my work most of all. I don't think anything I've ever done has been this important to me. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who helped out, and I mean that goes to all the filthy maggots out there, all to the Dogs of Doom, all the family members, just everyone, you know, because without you guys it just wouldn't have been possible, and it wouldn't be as good as it is today. And I know a lot of you have heard that I'm trying to get it into a film festival. Now, I don't know when that's going to happen, and I'm not sure again on the process. But if any of you have any insights into that, I would appreciate it if you drop me a message on Facebook. Or you can email me at droogieboy.com. droogieboy13@yahoo.com. If only I had my own website. Yeah, but as far as the movie making process, you know, it was a long, kind of tiring 5 months. I didn't shoot the entire 5 months, but I actually did end up taking like a month break in between. So it was, I mean, it was a much needed rest, but at the same time, you know, you feel like you need to get something done, but you can't. So the whole process, you know, I guess a lot of people can learn from it, and I would, if you're trying to get into film, I would recommend doing it. You know, if you want to think about it, go ahead, but I can't say, you know, you'd be more creative in any other aspect, because you're able to get your visions and what you have in your head out on film, you know. So with all this said, again, I want to say thank you to everyone who helped out, and please continue to spread the word about the movie. I want to develop a huge following. That way, you know, as many people can see this. I mean, a lot of people can see this, and as many as possible. Alright, so thank you guys. Take care.